Imagine yourself living in the world of Retroville, a town filled with eccentric inventors, curious scientists, and one particularly bright young boy named Jimmy Neutron. In this world, anything is possible with a dash of imagination and a sprinkle of science. Our story begins on a warm summer evening, with the sun slowly dipping below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. The air is filled with the sounds of laughter and excitement as the residents of Retroville go about their evening activities. In the heart of the town stands a modest-looking house, but behind its walls lies a laboratory that would make even the most seasoned scientist green with envy. This is the home of Jimmy Neutron, a boy genius with a knack for inventing gadgets that defy the laws of nature. On this particular evening, Jimmy is hard at work in his lab, tinkering away on his latest creation. With furrowed brows and intense concentration, he meticulously assembles wires and circuits, his mind buzzing with ideas. Meanwhile, just a few houses down the street, Jimmy's best friends, Carl and Sheen, are hanging out in Carl's backyard, enjoying the warm breeze and the company of each other. Carl, with his signature glasses and love for llamas, is busy munching on a bag of cheese-flavored snacks, while Sheen, with his wild enthusiasm for all things superhero, is regaling Carl with tales of his latest comic book escapades. As the evening wears on, the sky darkens, and the stars begin to twinkle overhead. Jimmy emerges from his lab, a triumphant grin plastered across his face, holding his latest invention, a device that promises to revolutionize the way people communicate. Excited to share his creation with his friends, Jimmy dashes over to Carl's house, where Carl and Sheen are still engrossed in their conversation about the merits of capes versus utility belts. "Guys, you won't believe what I've just invented," Jimmy exclaims, holding up the device for them to see. Carl and Sheen look at each other in awe, their eyes widening with anticipation. "What is it, Jimmy?" Carl asks, his mouth still full of cheese-flavored snacks. "It's a communication device," Jimmy explains eagerly. "With this, we can talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time. No more waiting for letters or phone calls, we can communicate instantaneously." Carl and Sheen exchange excited glances before turning back to Jimmy, their faces beaming with excitement. "That's incredible, Jimmy," Sheen exclaims. "But how does it work?" Jimmy launches into a detailed explanation of the device's inner workings, his hands gesturing animatedly as he describes the intricacies of the technology. Carl and Sheen listen intently, hanging on his every word, their imaginations running wild with possibilities. As the night wears on, the three friends continue to marvel at Jimmy's invention, their laughter mingling with the gentle hum of the summer night. Little do they know, their lives are about to change in ways they never could have imagined. The following morning dawned bright and clear over Retroville, with the promise of new adventures lingering in the air. Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen wasted no time in putting Jimmy's communication device to the test. With eager anticipation, they gathered in Jimmy's lab, surrounded by an array of flashing lights and whirring machinery. Jimmy carefully activated the device, its screen illuminating with a soft glow as it hummed to life. "Who should we call first?" Carl asked, bouncing with excitement. "How about Cindy?" Sheen suggested, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "I bet she'll be impressed by Jimmy's invention." Jimmy rolled his eyes at Sheen's suggestion, but couldn't deny the twinge of curiosity that sparked within him. With a few deft taps on the device's screen, he initiated the call to Cindy's house. Seconds ticked by, feeling like an eternity as they waited for a response. Just as Jimmy began to worry that Cindy wouldn't pick up, the screen flickered to life, revealing Cindy's face staring back at them. "Hello?" Cindy's voice echoed through the speaker, tinged with confusion. "Cindy, it's us," Sheen exclaimed, unable to contain his excitement. Cindy's eyes widened in surprise as she recognized the familiar faces of Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen on the screen. "What's going on? How are you calling me?" "It's Jimmy's latest invention, a communication device." Carl chimed in proudly. Cindy's expression softened, a hint of awe creeping into her features. That's actually really impressive, Neutron." Jimmy couldn't help but feel a swell of pride at Cindy's praise, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "Thanks, Cindy. I'm glad you think so." As the conversation continued, Jimmy, Carl, Sheen, and Cindy found themselves caught up in a whirlwind of laughter and reminiscing, the distance between them melting away with each passing moment. Before they knew it, hours had flown by, and the sun was beginning to dip below the horizon once again. Reluctantly, they bid each other farewell, promising to call again soon. As Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen watched Cindy's face disappear from the screen, a sense of contentment washed over them. With Jimmy's communication device, they had bridged the gap between them, forging a connection that transcended distance and time. Little did they know, their invention would soon attract the attention of someone far beyond the confines of Retroville, setting into motion a chain of events that would test their friendship in ways they never could have imagined. But for now, as the stars twinkled overhead and the night enveloped them in its embrace, they were content to bask in the warmth of each other's company, secure in the knowledge that no matter where life took them, they would always be connected by the bonds of friendship and invention. As days turned into weeks, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen found themselves immersed in a whirlwind of excitement and discovery as they explored the endless possibilities of Jimmy's communication device. With each new call, they strengthened their bonds of friendship, sharing laughter, secrets, and dreams across the vast expanse of Retroville. But unbeknownst to them, their invention had not gone unnoticed by the world beyond their town. In a secret laboratory, hidden deep within the bowels of a distant city, a shadowy figure watched with keen interest as Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen demonstrated the power of their device. "Interesting," the figure murmured, a calculating gleam in their eyes. "Very interesting indeed." With a flick of a switch, they activated a series of monitors, each one displaying footage of Jimmy's communication device in action. As they studied the intricate designs and complex technology, a plan began to form in their mind, a plan that would change the course of history forever. Meanwhile, back in Retroville, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen were blissfully unaware of the danger lurking on the horizon. As they continued to experiment with their device, pushing the boundaries of science and friendship, they were filled with a sense of excitement and wonder, unaware of the storm that was brewing just beyond their reach. But as fate would have it, their peaceful existence was about to be shattered by the arrival of an unexpected visitor, a visitor whose intentions were as mysterious as they were sinister. And so, as the sun set once again over Retroville, casting long shadows across the quiet streets, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen braced themselves for the adventure of a lifetime, unaware of the challenges that lay ahead and the true power of their invention. Little did they know, their journey was only just beginning, and the fate of Retroville rested in their hands. But with their friendship as their guiding light, they were ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead, armed with nothing but their wits, their inventions, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship that bound them together. As the days passed, Retroville buzzed with its usual energy, oblivious to the looming threat that hovered just beyond its borders. Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen spent their days tinkering in Jimmy's lab, blissfully unaware of the shadowy figure who watched their every move from afar. But one fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness descended upon the town, a strange occurrence set off a chain of events that would alter the course of their lives forever. It started innocently enough, a flicker of the lights, a faint hum in the air, but soon escalated into a full-blown power outage that plunged Retroville into darkness. Confusion and panic spread like wildfire as residents scrambled to find candles and flashlights, their voices rising in a cacophony of fear and uncertainty. Amidst the chaos, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen sprang into action, their minds racing with ideas and theories as they sought to uncover the cause of the blackout. With Jimmy leading the way, they ventured out into the streets, armed with flashlights and a determination to restore power to their beloved town. As they made their way through the darkened streets, they encountered strange anomalies: a flickering street lamp here, a malfunctioning traffic light there that hinted at something far more sinister lurking in the shadows. But just as they were on the verge of unraveling the mystery, they were confronted by an unexpected obstacle: a group of shadowy figures, cloaked in darkness and wielding strange devices that crackled with malevolent energy. "Who are you?" Jimmy demanded, his voice tinged with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. The figures remained silent, their faces obscured by the darkness as they advanced menacingly towards Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen. With a quick flick of his wrist, Jimmy activated his communication device, hoping to call for backup, but to his horror, he discovered that it had been disabled, its screen blank and lifeless. Trapped and outnumbered, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen braced themselves for a fight, their hearts pounding with fear and adrenaline as they prepared to defend themselves against this mysterious threat. But before they could make a move, the leader of the shadowy figures stepped forward, a cruel smile twisting his lips as he revealed himself to be none other than Professor Calamitous, a rival inventor with a grudge against Jimmy Neutron and a thirst for revenge. "Ah, Jimmy Neutron," Professor Calamitous sneered, his voice dripping with malice. "We meet again, and this time you won't be able to stop me." With a wave of his hand, Professor Calamitous unleashed a wave of energy that sent Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen sprawling to the ground, their minds reeling with shock and disbelief as they realized the true extent of the danger they were facing. As Retroville descended further into chaos and darkness, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen found themselves locked in a battle for the fate of their town, a battle that would test their friendship, their courage, and their ingenuity as they fought to overcome the forces of evil that threatened to consume them all. As the dust settled and the echoes of Professor Calamitus's sinister laughter faded into the night, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen found themselves battered but unbowed, their determination burning brighter than ever before. With Retroville still shrouded in darkness, they knew that they were the town's last hope, the only ones capable of stopping Professor Calamitous and restoring light to their beloved home. Drawing strength from their friendship and fueled by a fierce determination to protect Retroville, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen set out on a daring quest to confront their nemesis and put an end to his evil schemes once and for all. Guided by Jimmy's brilliant mind and fueled by Carl's unwavering loyalty and Sheen's boundless enthusiasm, they traversed the darkened streets of Retroville, facing countless obstacles and challenges along the way. But through sheer perseverance and a refusal to give up, they pressed on, their spirits undimmed as they drew ever closer to their final showdown with Professor Calamitous. And when the moment of truth arrived, they stood united as one, facing their enemy with courage and determination in their hearts. In a climactic battle that shook Retroville to its core, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen unleashed the full power of their inventions, matching wits and strength with Professor Calamitous in a battle of epic proportions. And when the dust finally settled and the smoke cleared, it was Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen who emerged victorious, their friendship stronger than ever before, and Retroville safe once more. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, bathing Retroville in a warm golden light, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen stood together, gazing out at the town they had fought so hard to protect. And as they looked to the future, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, as long as they stood together, there was nothing they couldn't overcome. For in the world of Jimmy Neutron, friendship, courage, and ingenuity were the most powerful weapons of all. And with their hearts filled with hope and their minds filled with dreams, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen knew that their greatest adventures were still yet to come.